severe on everyone you meet. They come on the street, they give their lives. We are the people.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, feds and degenerates, cuckolds of all ages. It's time for Mild's Culture Plate. I am your host, Mild Kevin Miles, and it is Wednesday, April 30th, 2025. The end of the month creeping up on us. We're already heading into the 5th month of the year. So fast, so fast. So fast that this stream's sort of my deadline in trying to make money for the month of May. We got Still Not Banned here over in the chat on Rumble. And you know what? We're going to go back to the whiskey tonight for the toasts. Going to be drinking a little bit of Knob Creek Rye for the evening instead of my usual cup of water. Because, why not? Why not, when the pressure's on, have just a little good drink? Good evening, darling. Cheers and welcome. Let's go ahead and you're goddamn right, it's a good evening. Good evening, everybody. I have a whole loaded show for you today. There's no way I'm getting done before 7:30 Central. So this is going to be probably, an hour and a half show. Stay tuned for everything. We've got all kinds of news. We got all kinds of Trump news. We got all kinds of media news. And we have some updates on a couple of stories that we covered on the Saturday program. So if you were here on Saturday, by the way, shout out to everyone who shows up on Saturdays. We have the Saturday Culture Plate show where we do this segment called Love Does Admonish, where we watch a YouTube channel called Love Don't Judge. And this past Saturday, we watched this Love Don't Judge about a couple of they-thems who had convinced their sister to surrogate a child for them. Still not banned here. Drink 2, have an apple moonshine and cooking wine. Hell yeah. I hope the dish comes out well. And I hope, man, that apple pie moonshine sounds delicious. It's been a while since I've had anything good apple flavored. But anyway, as I was saying, we watched Love Don't Judge, and it had a couple of they-thems who convinced their sister to carry their surrogate children. And it had taken a couple of attempts, but the sister finally was able to have the embryo implanted and become pregnant. And literally 5 minutes after I shut the stream down on Saturday, I caught this post over on X with an update on the children's 1-year birthday. Yes, I said children because there wound up being 2 of them. Now, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and watch this. Oh no.
Kyle, you want to sit on my shoulder? Oh my gosh, you're so tall. You want to sit on my shoulder? Wow. No. Kyle, look at all your balloons. Do you love it? Do you love it?
Look,
Come on, let's look in here.
they seem to genuinely care for the children, but man,
look at this place. Look at this. So beautiful.
I never thought I would say this about children with 2 fathers, but they are missing masculinity in their
You
life.
want to sit on your throne? Ready? This has your name on it. Okay, ready? Sit right here. Sit right here. Here's your ball. Ball.
Okay.
Ball.
Anyway, we've seen enough. We've seen enough. Happy first birthday to the children of they, them. Another story we covered on Saturday was Shedeur Sanders' draft woes. And we played a couple of clips about a prank phone call. And Shedeur Sanders, apparently sometime around the 3rd round of the NFL draft, received a phone call to a number that was supposed to be private. It was a prank phone call, kind of teasing him about his pick in the draft. And he had not been picked yet, but the person on the other end of the line kind of claimed to be with the New Orleans Saints. Woot woot, congrats. Huh? Did I miss something? So yeah, he was drafted in the 5th round, but in the 3rd round, yeah, there was this prank phone call where the person on the other line was claiming to be with the New Orleans Saints and going to draft him in an upcoming pick, and then said, no, man, you got to wait a little bit longer. And that prank phone call wound up being the son. In fact, let's go ahead and get into this. Oh, here we go. From Adam Schefter of ESPN, posted this on X. Atlanta Falcons statement earlier in the week. Jax Ulbrich, the 21-year-old son of the defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, unintentionally came across the draft contact phone number for Shedeur Sanders off an open iPad while visiting his parents' home and wrote the number down to later conduct a prank phone call. Jeff Ulbrich was unaware of the data exposure or any facets of the prank and was made aware of only after the fact. The Falcons do not condone this behavior and send our sincerest apologies to the Sanders and his family, who we've been in contact with to apologize to, as well as facilitate an apology directly from Jax to the Sanders family. We've also been in contact with the NFL and will continue to cooperate fully with any inquiries we may receive from the league office. We're thoroughly reviewing all protocols and updating if necessary to prevent an incident like this from happening again. And then we have further news from the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons organization has been fined $250,000, and the defensive coordinator himself fined another $100,000 for the prank phone call. So kids, it don't pay to make prank phone calls if your parents work for the NFL. All right, so enough about catching up on old news. By the way, folks, please share this link out. I normally don't ask you to share, but like I said, we're running up against a deadline this evening. I've had some other people sort of share the link out. Not quite sure what we got going on here. I've tried to share the link out as much as I possibly could, but we are running up against a deadline, and I need as much engagement as I can with this video. So feel free to share the link out. Please click that like button. Yeah, good, because that wasn't cool. Yeah, it wasn't cool. It was funny, but it wasn't cool. But yeah, please go ahead and click that like button and come on into the chat and interact if you're out there. I was half tempted to kill the stream on YouTube, but I think I might need it for a while. Okay, let's get into some other news. We have a $4 billion lawsuit settlement by Los Angeles County. And let's get into this. $4 billion settlement in sex abuse claims at juvenile facilities approved by county supervisors. This is from Tuesday. The County Board of Supervisors unanimously approved a $4 billion settlement of more than 6,800 claims of sexual abuse allegedly perpetrated in juvenile facilities or foster care as far back as the 80s, billed as the costliest payout in county history. Of such payout in county history. The payout's expected to have implications on the county budget for years to come, officials said when announcing the proposed settlement earlier this month. The impact's already being felt in the proposed 2025 to 26 budget, which includes 3% cuts for county departments. On behalf of the county, I apologize wholeheartedly to everyone who is harmed by these reprehensible acts, County CEO Fessia Davenport said in a statement announcing the settlement. The historical scope of this settlement makes clear that we're committed to helping the survivors recover and rebuild their lives and making and enforcing systemic changes needed to keep young people safe. The majority of claims included in the settlement involve alleged abuse that occurred in the county probation department juvenile facilities, and most notably the McLaren Children's Center in El Monte, which closed in 2003. Supervisor Holly Mitchell said the payout should prompt change in governance to end sexual harassment and what she called systemic injustice. The financial payout is one thing, but ultimately everyone wants the behavior to stop, Mitchell said. People who commit these crimes should not have their jobs protected, calling for perpetrators to be terminated if allegations are found valid. The cost of settlements will be borne through a combination of reserve funds, bonds, and cuts in department budgets. Quote, the financing will require annual payments totaling hundreds of millions of dollars through 2030 and substantial continuing annual payments through fiscal year 2050 to 51. According to a statement from the county. So these police and jail guards, wood chipper, not just huge payouts, but wood chipper. Davenport said she'd come across calls on social media platforms requesting that victims with similar experience with the California Youth Authority come forward with their stories. She suggested that if a large settlement were to unfold within the state authority in the near future, the county would work with state officials to budget management. Several members of the public identified as Jane Does and John Does shared their stories and offered public comment calling for immediate change. Speakers questioned the county's ability to investigate claims with their own agencies and said termination of perpetrators should be the base outcome. Attorneys representing many of the claimants issued a statement saying the settlement, which also needed court approval, aims to deliver long overdue accountability, puts safeguards in place to prevent such failures in the future, and ensures the county's financial stability through a 5-year distribution plan that includes structured payouts with oversight to manage financial exposure while prioritizing victim compensation. This landmark settlement represents restorative justice for victims. Restorative justice is a societal recognition that a horrible wrong has been committed and compensation is justified, said attorney Patrick McNicholas. It stands as testament to the resilience of survivors, the importance of holding institutions accountable, and the power of collaboration in driving meaningful change. By balancing justice for victims and a commitment to reform, this resolution ensures both acknowledgement of past wrongs and a pathway to safer, more accountable future. Hopefully they are committing actual investigations to make sure that they're not just paying off anyone who randomly claims, yeah, I had dealing with the juvenile detention facility and I got diddled, that there's actually an investigation and that these claims are somewhat substantiated. Okay, so let's jump from California to Florida. Let's go from fascism to freedom here. Florida is posed, this is from the AP, Florida is posed to become the second state to ban fluoride. Concerns the dentists and public health advocates who say the mineral is safe, effective way to protect people of all ages from developing cavities. Yeah, well, you don't need to drink it, right? You don't need to drink it. Why is it in the water supply? Just have a government program handing out fluoride treatment. You don't need to dump it in the water. Florida lawmakers gave the final approval of the bill Tuesday after Utah became the first state to pass a ban last month. Republican-led states are following a push led by Health Secretary Bobby Kennedy Jr., who's setting the gears of government in motion to stop fluoridating water. Florida measure now goes to the desk of Republican Governor DeSantis, whose administration has advocated against fluoridation of community water systems, arguing high levels could pose a risk to children's intellectual development. But we would rather them be dumb and have cavities, apparently, AP, right? Fluoride strengthens teeth. Okay, yeah, we're just done with this. As dentists, yeah, they're gonna have all these quotes from dentists and everybody else. Anyway, you get the point. DeSantis and Florida wants to ditch the fluoride. Feel free to look this up on your own if you want to see the claims by dentists and see the claims by other people. And we got Neurodivergent one in the chat over on Rumble. Cheers and welcome, brother. Good seeing you. Saying make sure you hit that follow and smash the thumbs up. Yeah. Cheers. Yeah. Let me go ahead and give you the do it sound effect here. Got some Star Wars going on here. Let's do it. Do it. Let's do it again. Do it. Do it. Go ahead. Click that follow button and click that thumbs up, please. Yes, good to see you. Hey, we got Kevin and ABQ over on Rumble. Hey, typical Florida water equals lots of sulfur. Cheers and welcome. Let's do. What do we got going on here? What's a good? Let's do the Zelda chest. Yeah. Kevin and ABQ is quite the treasure. Cheers. Neurodivergent one can't hang out. Gonna leave this on while he finishes up shit. Well, hey man, that's all I can ask for is that you're at least here and that you eventually watch or at least know what's going on with some of this. Okay, let's move on to a couple of TikTok videos over on X. Okay, we got we got them coming in now. We got Serene Pickle. Cheers and welcome. Cheers and welcome to Jacob Castro as well. Let's go with the... All right. If I keep slamming that, I'm going to get drunk. So I'm going to have to switch to water for a minute. All right. So yeah, let's go talk about, weirdo leftists talk about their student loans on TikTok. We did this a little bit on the last show, but of course that didn't stop them from losing their minds over Trump trying to make them pay their student loans. So let's see a couple more of these, and then we'll kind of get into some other things. All right, let's do this. Let's hear what this young lady has to say about her student loans. I want to pay off my student loans, but the problem is the interest rate.
Hi there. I took out loans for college and I owe it all back. I made a conscious decision to get a bachelor's degree. I also chose to get a higher education and I owe it. I don't have a problem with it. I want to pay off my student loans. The problem that I have is my interest rate alone is $1,400 a month. That's not even me making a payment towards my actual loan. That's the problem.
So the interest payment on your loan could pay my mortgage. Good to know.
And I chose to go back into teaching because I'm taking advantage of the public loan forgiveness program.
How much?
But my teaching salary, along with my loans and my $1,400
oh my
interest
God!
rate,
How much was your loan?
They don't match. Like, they don't go together. I'm just a regular mom, 3 kids, just living an average life.
Okay, I looked this up myself a few years back. I was actually considering becoming a teacher. And yeah, I did see the Associate in Arts degree in education. Wasn't that damn expensive. So apparently you got, a bachelor's and potentially even a master's degree in education or some other, some other subject to supplement that. I want to know how much you spent on your degree.
That's the problem. And this is where people are getting upset about, is that they are taking out these loans. The interest rates are so high. People are struggling to pay them. They're just struggling just to live in this economy.
Okay. Well, that I'm sorry. I mean, you should have read the terms of your loan, or taken the loan paperwork to an attorney. So wait, this one's not necessarily about student loans, but this is about our education system. So let's watch this one here. We got a bunch of hellos in the chat, and then Kevin ABQ says student loans are handed out in a way that no other business would be lent. Yep. I will have an ad read here in a few minutes. By the way, we finally crossed a threshold apparently for Rumble here.
I'm 27 years old in a corporate job, and I do not know how to spell.
Now, this could be bullshit. I mean, admittedly, any of these videos could be bullshit, but this is interesting. She says she doesn't know how to spell.
Okay, because I'm from the generation where I'm in 5th grade, and I had a laptop with spell check on it. That's ridiculous. So now I'm 27 years old, listening to podcasts on how to sound out words and how to spell, because I don't know how. Mind you, I'm educated.
I mean, feel free to come watch the Miles Culture Plate podcast, by the way.
I have a bachelor's and I cannot spell.
I could use more ladies like you in the audience.
Ask me how to spell any word. I can't do it. I cannot do it. And if I can't spell...
This is why we need to bring back the manufacturing system.
Behind me, they can't spell either. We're toast. Goodbye.
Okay. So yeah, we got Jacob Castro paid off all my loans. Get the fuck out. Serene Pickle, I paid my student loans off the first year of work. Well, because you folks chose actual careers, you didn't get education or dance theory. Let's go ahead and do the ad read real quick. Okay, let's do this. Come on. Accept and start. Please work. Offer does not match. Offer does not match what? What the fuck? Okay. Hey, there we go. It's a new month to rethink your health. It is spring and we're heading into summer. Get the Tea's always here to help. Their all-natural herbal teas help cleanse your body from the inside out. Let's remove any excess buildup you might be carrying so that you can wear that fabulous swimsuit that's in your closet. Yeah, you don't want to be looking like Lizzo out there, folks. For the month of May, they have new Ceylon cinnamon tablets with higher milligrams and Gymnema leaf. They're both $5 off. Help you maintain healthy blood sugar levels. Be sure to get their email list to receive any additional savings they might offer. Their herbal teas and supplement formulations are not found in stores. Go to getthetea.com, enter code RUMBLE for 10% off your order. That's getthetea.com, code RUMBLE for 10% off. Yeah, you gotta love their tea. Get that going on. All right, thank you to Rumble and getthetea.com. All right, we saw the offer in the chat banner first. Okay, well, I don't know what's going on, but it worked the second time, so there we go. This next lady we did see on the Saturday program. Apparently there's a second video she felt the need to film. The first one, she's like crying that she just couldn't pay her student loans and that she wasn't going to pay her student loans. And I guess she got enough feedback that she decided to do a follow-up video. Let's see what else she had to say about
on these loans for 15 or 20 years, and I still owe the exact same amount that I owed when I borrowed it. I have paid $50,000 to my $50,000 loan. I paid over that, and I still owe like $47,000. They're never going away. I could pay on them for 50 years, and when I die, the bill will go in my casket with me. You want to know why people don't want to pay them? It's because they're never ending. It's not like
compounding interest is a thing.
They're impossible to pay, and the interest rates are astronomical, and they don't want us to be able to pay them off. They're predatory, and they should be illegal.
I
Getting
don't
an
completely
education
disagree with
should
this
be
shit.
free. We live in America.
No, now you lost me.
So in America, you can go to college for $200,000 and not even be guaranteed a job. If you get a job, you might make $20 an hour, the same as the guy at McDonald's, but have to pay student loans back.
All right. So there's that lady. So, again, read the terms of any financial loans. I mean, this is a huge problem with our education system as we graduate people from high school, and we don't teach them how to be financially smart at all. Serene Pickle, she should sue the school if the loans were predatory. But that's just it. The school doesn't give out the loans. It's FAFSA. It's the government. It's what is it, Fannie Mae or whatever it is? Yeah, that requires decision-making skills. Well, yeah, and it requires understanding. Yeah, exactly what Jacob Castro said was what I was going to say. It's not going to pay off your gender studies degree. Yeah. Knowing which degrees to select that will get you a job in a field that will make the money back. But of course, these videos got way worse. And again, like I said, disclaimer, I think some of these might be bullshit. We'll see what this lady says. She says she's not going to lie to us at the very beginning. Or not the very beginning, but close to it. She says she's not going to lie to us. So let's let this lady tell us her story.
I am so blown. I really am. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I had no intentions on paying my student loans back. Like, I really have not. Like, my motto was they gonna get it back in blood, but apparently they're trying to get it back in motherfucking blood. So
yes, legitimately.
Yeah, I'm about to just go for broke, pack a bag, take my dog, and get the fuck up out of the United States to see what happens. Like, literally, what's the worst that could happen?
Huh? She wants to know what's the worst that could happen if she packs a bag and leaves the country.
At this point.
Well, we've got a video about that. But before I go to the next video, I just want to say, like, you wasn't intending to pay off the loan. The last lady said she's not intending to pay off the loan. So we have our government that guarantees all these loans essentially on the backs of taxpayers, and you all want your debt forgiven. You folks don't have the intelligence or the understanding or the responsibility to get student loans in the first place. So yeah, that's the problem right there. Why should we give people like this, people like the last 4 people we've seen, why should we be giving them student loans at all? Because yeah, now when they're finally faced with getting their income garnished or getting their bank accounts seized, they want to leave the country. Well, good luck, folks, because you're not the first person who has left the country. We have this young lady who left the country because she didn't like the way racism and things were happening in our country. And let's hear what this lady had to say about moving to another country. And of course, you know, she definitely looks like she's got everything together, right?
But y'all, I'd rather go back to America and deal with the racism in America before I sit here in Africa and deal with the bullshit bribery, the bullshit fraud, the bullshit scams.
So she left America because of the racism and went to Africa, where there's bribery, fraud, and scams. Okay, let's continue to hear her amazing experience overseas.
The bullshit too expensive. The bullshit not having no snacks.
Too expensive. Not having snacks.
The bullshit electricity.
Oh my God, they don't have fucking Cheetos. They don't have flaming hot Cheetos. Jeez. No pity for them. They got a 4+ year forbearance. Try getting that on any other loan. Yeah, no shit. It'd be nice to get a little break from my mortgage for a couple
bullshit
months.
Hot water. The bullshit
hot water.
What's that shit called that be coming down? Bullshit lizards. The bullshit animals.
Bullshit lizards.
Outside the house. It's big ass spiders. It's big ass lizards. Colorful lizards you ain't never seen before. All in the fucking room with you.
All in the fucking room. Sleeping with you.
All the bullshit people trying to scam you when you go outside.
Shit, man. They got that kind of shit in Florida, right?
I'm really trying to wrap my head around this shit. I'm really trying to wrap my head around how are Americans coming to Africa and being happy. Please comment down below. Because for me, I'm ready to go. And I always used to say, if it's up to me, it will be. And I'm going to go out to Africa and make shit happen. No, I don't want to. I want to take my businesses back to America. I want to open up shop back in America, open up my dentist office and all the stuff that I was going to do out here in America. Steady electricity. And the only time our electricity get cut off is when we don't pay the bill. And we got it so good now, we got prepaid electricity. So if we forget to pay the bill, we put some money on that prepaid thing and it comes right back on in 2 minutes. In less than 2 minutes. This shit right here didn't come on for 14 hours yesterday.
Didn't come on for 14 hours. No.
I can't deal.
No power for 14 hours. I love
people. Don't get me wrong. When I'm outside, I'm having fun.
Now remember,
people. When I come back to reality.
We got all these celebrities wanting to go to, let's see, Ireland like Rosie O'Donnell or Canada like some of these celebrities. Hey, have at it. Go. Get the fuck out. We don't want you here. Like, you want to go? Go. This woman went to Africa, went and hung out with some lizards and spiders and no power, and now she wants to come back. And granted, the Congo or wherever the hell she went is definitely not as nice as places like Ireland or Canada, but that may change soon. We don't know that. We don't know that it's going to be all sunshine and roses in Canada or Ireland.
When you come back home,
in the long term,
home is where the heart is, right? When you come back home, you're supposed to feel comfortable, you're supposed to be happy. I'm not happy. To live in a house where you look outside and all you see is turkeys and ducks and chickens and sheep and old malnourished cows.
Malnourished cows. You gotta love the malnourished cows. Oh, shit. All right, so I'm not going to watch this next video very long. We're going to get into the Trump stuff now. So we've had articles of impeachment officially filed against Donald Trump. We have Democrat Congressman Sri Thanadar of Michigan, which shout out to Michigan. You really know how to pick your politicians. Speaking of, the governor of Michigan apparently was hanging out with Trump earlier this week and actually gave him props. I think it was today. Gave him props for, trying to push the tariffs. Said, these are a good thing for the auto industry in Michigan. And said that he's been working with her. Said he's been pleasant, which is, career suicide if you're a Democrat. But anyway, let's listen to a little bit of what this guy says. I'm sure you've seen this on other shows, so I'm not going to belabor the point because we've got a lot of other Trump stuff to get into. But
this is Congressman Sri Thanadar. Donald Trump has already done real damage to our democracy. But defying a unanimous 9-0 Supreme Court ruling, that has to be the final straw. It's time we impeach Donald J. Trump. The court said the wrongfully deported Kilmer Garcia must be allowed to return and receive
okay,
due
so yeah,
process.
this is over the Garcia
Trump
thing.
Ignored it. He ignored the Constitution.
He didn't ignore it.
He ignored the...
He did not ignore it or the Constitution. The Constitution can't make Venezuela give him back.
Checks and balances that keep our democracy intact. This isn't an isolated incident. It's part of a dangerous, deliberate pattern. That's why today I introduced
we got
a
Jack
resolution
985 in the chat.
impeach
Cheers and welcome.
Donald
Let me
J. Trump.
go ahead and pause this. And this one might be loud, but I've got to play this. I got to play this. Let's do this. I'm going to play this one for Jack 985 while I take my shot here. Cheers and welcome, Jack 985 on Rumble. Okay, there we go. Kevin and ABQ says Jimmy Kimmel an unacceptable face painting. Yeah, this is like a cross between what Monkey, Muppet, and Jimmy Kimmel.
Outlining 7 articles of impeachment. Article 1.
Okay, yeah, no. I'm not going to listen to him read all this shit off. I mean, obviously, he said what his beef was. Quite frankly, no matter what the Constitution says, you can't force Venezuela to give this guy back up. So saying that Trump ignored him, it is what it is. But here's what this was a a campaign ad that ran against that gentleman. We got lots of information that has come out about that gentleman. So let's check out this campaign ad against him.
Year after year, they were confined to crates with no opportunity to leave. Sri Thanadar got rich running tests on dogs. His research company kept over 100 dogs.
Oh, wait, don't tell me he was doing the same shit Fauci was doing. Oh, no, come on.
Testing drugs and chemicals on them. Never let out of their cages.
Okay, drugs and
when Shri's
chemicals,
company went bankrupt,
flies,
it abandoned the building, leaving the starving dogs trapped in their crates.
Wait,
a judge
what
stopped
happened to my camera?
But who could be so cruel? Tell Sri Thanadar. Year after year, they were confined.
What the hell happened to my camera? Hang on, let me bring my camera down and back up here. Try rebooting this shit. Rumble's broken. Rumble is broken. Well then, come on, Rumble. Hey, there we go. I'm back. Okay, yeah. Sorry, the chat had to refresh too. So I might have missed a comment or two there. So we got this this video from Becky Weiss over on X with more information about good old Thano. What is the name again? Thanadar, Sri Thanadar. So yeah, here we go. Let's see this video. Oh, this one.
See, articles of impeachment, baby. Let's go. Yeah, I did see that. Do you want to hear some super fun facts? I do. Tell me everything. How are we going to get them out? I mean, first, this is primarily seen as a purely symbolic move. Given that Republicans control both the House as well as the Senate.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, the fucking impeachment investigation is going to go nowhere.
There is a slim to 0% chance that this is actually going to go anywhere. But there's more, right? There's more? Yeah, there actually is more. You see, Representative Sri actually owes about $800,000 of campaign debt from his 2024 election, which he's actually personally responsible for.
Okay, so there's some incentive in making the news, right?
And even though these articles of impeachment will not go anywhere, it will garner him national attention, which will then give him the opportunity for mass-scale fundraising for his 2026 campaign, which he can begin using to pay down that $800,000, which he is personally liable for. Wait, so you're saying that like he doesn't actually think he can impeach Trump, but he's just doing this to get himself out of debt?
Oh.
Got it.
All right. Shout out to Becky Weiss on X and Instagram, apparently. Thank you for that information. Good to know. Good to know. So, what is Trump doing lately? What is Trump doing that's pissing them off so badly, other than, deporting immigrants? Well, there's a New York Post here. We got a couple articles from the New York Post about things Trump's doing here. Let's just look into it. Trump signs an executive order requiring truck drivers to speak English and pass literacy tests as communication problems mount. Trump signed an executive order directing the DOT to include English literacy tests for our truckers. This is a big problem in the trucking community, Carolyn Levitt said on Monday in a press conference with new members of the media. Press conference was separate from a White House press briefing Monday morning. You might not know, but there's a lot of communication problems between truckers on the road with federal officials and local officials as well, which is obviously a safety risk, Levitt continued. We're going to ensure that our truckers, who are the backbone of our economy, are all able to speak English. It's a common sense policy. It directs Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy to rescind guidance that watered down the law requiring English proficiency for commercial drivers, and to carry out additional administrative, regulatory, or enforcement actions to improve the working conditions of America's truck drivers, according to details provided to Fox News by a White House official. Let's see, we got balloon deflated, and then we got, Trump arresting pedophiles. Well, we hope so. We hope so. Trump believes that English is a non-negotiable safety requirement for professional drivers, as they should be able to read and understand traffic signs, communicate with safety officers, border patrol, agricultural checkpoints, and cargo weight limit station personnel, and provide and receive feedback and directions in English, the White House official shared. Truckers who are unable to provide that they are proficient in English will be placed out of service, enhancing roadway safety, according to the White House. Will Kane of Fox News reported earlier in April that trucking experts reported that there will be an influx of foreign-born truckers in recent years. Jack 985. Ledonius Vargianis, also known as War 21, a citizen of the United States. Yeah, I seen something about this, as well as Trippy 20 of North Carolina. Yeah, they were arrested and charged, I think, in Greece. As part of a pedophile ring over in Greece. I don't think I got that story. I ran across it, but I don't think I grabbed it. Yeah, I think they were arrested in Greece. Fuck it, I'll go find it real quick. Why not? Fuck it, we'll do it live. Okay, let's do this. CBS News. We'll do this. Violent online networks leaders dubbed Warren Trippy are charged over child exploitation. 21-year-old Leonidas Vargianis, known online as War, and 20-year-old Prasan Nepal, known as Trippy, could spend the rest of their lives in prison for alleged crimes which include targeting vulnerable children online and coercing them into producing degrading and explicit content under threat and manipulation, the Justice Department said. Some content was traced to kids as young as 13. The allegations are not only disturbing, they're every parent's nightmare, U.S. District Attorney for D.C., Edward Martin Jr. said in the news release. The number of victims allegedly exploited and the depths of depravity are staggering. The network, known as 764, seeks to destroy civilized society through the corruption and exploitation of vulnerable populations, which often include minors, the Justice Department said. Its activities took place from 2020 through this year. According to the Justice Department, Vargianis and Nepal led a core subgroup within 764 that operated through encrypted messaging apps, and they allegedly directed and participated in the production and distribution of child sex abuse material. These defendants allegedly recruited others to exploit children and created a guide for the disgusting content they wanted, Kash Patel said in the news release. Nepal was arrested in North Carolina last week, and Vargianis was arrested Monday in Greece, where he resides, authorities said. Vargianis, who was arrested on an international warrant, denied the allegations and has formally opposed extradition, his lawyer and Greek judicial authorities said, according to the AP. Throughout the period during which the alleged offenses took place, he was residing in Greece. Ziante Moisadou, Vargianis' lawyer, told the AP. Therefore, Greek law and courts have jurisdiction over the case, and his expedition is prohibited. Jack985 says, fake news is the enemy's best friend. Good thing you mentioned that. Yes, we're definitely going to be talking. CBS is on their side. Fuck. Opening stages of some big shit. Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope so. But, again, we're hopefully looking forward to some Epstein stuff eventually. I'm always vocal about the Epstein stuff because, I'm kind of pissed off at Pan Bondi that we haven't seen more about it. So we have the U.S. Senate, in particular Rand Paul. And let me just start off by saying, remind everybody my position on Rand Paul. I support Rand Paul. I support libertarians. But I do think he's wrong on this trade stuff. I think he's wrong on the tariffs. And, I get it. Libertarians are supposed to be against taxes. They're supposed to be for free trade. But I'm not for free trade with slave nations. And I'm not for imbalanced trade with nations that are manipulating American markets. Let's see. We got Still Not Banned here saying it's hard to educate people when the media helps. Jack says scam Bondi in the way of the release. Yeah. I want to see Pam Bondi and Christine Noem stop doing media appearances and photo opportunities unless they're bringing us some meat, some substance to the shit that they're trying to accomplish. Jack985 says, rub some tariffs on it mild. Well, that's exactly what we're talking about here. Rand Paul apparently has enough votes in the Senate to reject or institute a resolution, I guess, to reject Trump's tariffs and to knock down Trump's Liberation Day tariffs. And Trump has said, we're going to fucking veto that shit. From Fox News, White House threatens to veto a Senate resolution terminating Liberation Day tariffs. President Donald Trump will veto a Senate resolution aimed at ending his global tariffs, even though the measure has bipartisan support. The White House warned several lawmakers in a letter sent to offices of Don Wyden and Rand Paul supporting the resolution. Paul, who's been a fierce critic of Trump's tariffs, recently told the Wall Street Journal that he's not alone in his skepticism of the administration's tariff policies. He noted that millions of investors are also self-interested, have misgivings about the tariffs. The administration reportedly wrote in its warning to lawmakers that it strongly opposes Resolution 49, which would end the national emergency declared by Trump on April 2nd to impose global tariffs. Trump announced a host of sweeping tariffs on Liberation Day, targeting countries around the world. In a statement of administration policy, SAP, from the Office of Management and Budget, the administration reportedly wrote that Resolution 49 would block Trump from addressing unusual and extraordinary threats to national security and economic stability. There could be no doubt that Resolution 49, if passed, would undermine national and economic security, the administration wrote. If Resolution 49 were presented to the president, he would veto it. So let's go ahead and give a round of applause for Trump. Jack985 says Rand Paul should have shot his neighbor. Hang on. I need to pause this real quick because I'm still having some sinus issues. Hang on. I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm sure the whiskey doesn't help with my sinus issue, apparently. All right, let's go to ABC News. So last night, Donald Trump gave an interview with ABC News, and I haven't watched the whole thing. I might throw out there. I have not watched the whole thing. Apparently, there's a whole media uproar over whether or not that Venezuelan guy had an MS-13 tattoo on his hand. Everyone's splitting hairs. I guess Trump split hairs on whether or not it actually said MS-13. I'm not getting into all that. Folks, feel free to join that debate wherever it is on the internet. But quite frankly, it doesn't matter to me. I think the tattoos meant MS-13, whether or not they actually said MS-13. And honestly, fuck ABC News, right? But let's go ahead and get into some clips from this ABC News interview with Donald Trump. Jack985 says, I like Rand snapping at Fauci, but a chihuahua is only so interesting. Yes, agreed. And Still Not Banned here says, can't fix stupid, it's depressing. All right, so let's hear what Donald Trump had to say in some of these clips here.
A legal note, fraud is a crime. There have been no referrals to the Justice Department at any.
Well, you don't know that, do you? How do you know that?
So obviously they're talking about Doge and all the fraud that Doge found. And, ABC News is like, but you haven't arrested anyone. You haven't filed any charges against anyone who's committing the fraud. And Trump's just like, you don't know that. You don't work for the DOJ. Why the fuck would you make that assumption?
Have there been referrals to the? Are there criminal
How
referrals?
would you know that there were no referrals? I think there were referrals.
They generally are. There's been no investigation from the Justice Department. How do you know that? I'm asking you, sir.
No, you're not asking me. You made a statement. You're not.
Now I'm asking you.
That was a statement that you made. There have been.
I'm asking you.
Have there been? Yes, there have.
So there have been referrals.
There have been files
for fraud.
There have been
from the
referrals.
work
There have been. Take a look at some of these things that took place. Billions of dollars were given to people for no reason whatsoever. Of course there have been.
I want to bring up.
Okay, so there you have it. According to the President of the United States, there have been referrals for charges filed for fraud. Jack985 says, here's a face you can wipe your ass on. Yes, definitely, ladies. I do butt stuff. Feel free to wipe your ass over here. Depends on how cute the lady is, though. No Lizzos. ABC News posted a clip on their own here. I'm going to jump over to here. Trump reacts to Joe Rogan's warning about becoming monsters. Let's see what this minute 25 clip's all about.
Joe Rogan said this. Joe Rogan, one of the leading podcasters, Trump supporter, about the deportation of Venezuelans. He said, quote, rounding up gang members and shipping them to El Salvador with no due process, he said it was dangerous, and added, quote, we got to be careful that we don't become monsters while we're fighting monsters. Is Joe Rogan right?
Oh, I agree with that 100%.
There we go.
Yeah, we want to be careful, and we are careful. We're doing something that has to be done. We have a country that's very sick. Joe Biden, and it's not him because I don't even think he knew what the hell was happening. But the people are.
Yeah, this reporter here, he likes dudes' butts wiped on his face. So yeah, feel free.
Around him are vicious people, and what they've done to the country is unbelievable. They've allowed 21 million people to pour into our country. Many of these people are criminals. They've allowed you mentioned Venezuela, the jails of Venezuela to be emptied into the United States. Do you know Venezuela crime is way down?
Here we go.
Way down.
Venezuela crime is way down.
Because their criminals are now living happily in the United States of America, and we're getting them out. And I was elected to get them out, and we're getting them out.
Under the law.
And we're getting them out fast, and we're getting them out.
Old friend of the show, Apocryphal World Records, is in the chat over on Rumble. Cheers and welcome. Last little shot of whiskey there. I'm not going to drink any more than that one glass. But let's do an English motherfucker.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
There we go. I should have did that during the story about the truckers.
Legally. Now, in some cases, we have judges. In some cases, they're radical left judges. What happened the other day where a judge was protecting a criminal was horrible.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. So, yeah, the ABC News had the 100 days.
Okay, let's move on to immigration. And as you.
All right. Now, there's one more I wanted to play. I'm assuming this may have been more toward the end of the interview. But Trump just flat out calls out the media, just like Jack did earlier in the chat.
Do you think the reputation of the United States has gone down under your presidency?
No, I think it's gone way up, and I think we're a respected country again.
There we go.
We were laughed at all over the world. We had a president that couldn't walk up a flight of stairs, couldn't walk down a flight of stairs.
Look, they may not like Trump, they may not like America, but they have to respect at this point.
Walk across the stage without falling. We had a president that was grossly incompetent. You knew it, I knew it, and everybody knew it, but you guys didn't want to write it because you're fake news.
All right.
Fake news.
And by the way, ABC is one of the worst. I have to be honest.
ABC is the worst.
Thank you. Do you think the reputation of the...
All right, there we have it. There we have Donald Trump telling ABC News exactly what he thinks of the media. And it didn't stop there. We got Serene Pickle in the chat saying, reporter looks like a pompous ass-ho. Ass-ho. It didn't stop there. Telling the media exactly what they think. The White House did not stop there. They put this out on their website, the White House here, whitehouse.gov. 100 days of hoaxes cutting through the fake news. CNN tried to fact check Trump's claim that the Biden administration spent millions on making mice transgender. Okay, it was updated. They claimed the Department of Defense removed Colin Powell's name from a list of notable Americans buried at Arlington. Eric Swalwell claimed that no president presided over more plane crashes. There were 55 aviation accidents in Biden's January to February. Governor Pritzker in Chicago public schools claimed that ICE agents conducted a raid at an elementary school. Far-left influencers and leftist hacks claimed the DOGE and Elon Musk were out to cut Social Security. They said they were young, inexperienced engineers. NBC peddled that constituents in some traditionally red districts were unhappy with Trump's effort. Yeah, we've been covering that too. Apparently there's even more quotes from what's his name? Bill Maher. Bill Maher still claiming that MAGA people are regretting voting for Trump. What do we got? Let's see. AWR says, always a friend of the show. Thank you for being out there. Everybody loves Trump except criminals. And then Serene Pickle says, yep, across the world. And then across the world, yeah. NPR claimed that the astronauts who were stuck on the space station were not stranded. A foreign fake news outlet reported that Trump shut down the British Prime Minister during a news conference. NPR claimed the White House was actively searching for a new Secretary of Defense. Fake news attempted to, Maryland man Filmmaker Michael Moore questioned whether deported illegal immigrants would go on to cure cancer or stop the asteroid that's going to hit us. The fake news portrayed Mahmoud Khalil, a pro-Hamas radical, as an innocent grad student. Financial Times reported that White House counselor Peter Navarro wanted to remove Canada from the Five Eyes intelligence network. Fake news reporter claimed Trump referred to European nations as parasites. Fake news implied, CNN's Breonna Keller implied that Trump administration was somehow wrong for stopping illegal immigrants from stealing taxpayer dollars in the form of welfare benefits. And then the fact check was the government will find every illegal alien who's stealing American dollars. Bobby Kennedy is anti-vaccine. Well, he's not. He's not. That's unfortunate. He should be. Prostitutes. Media invent the lies they spew. Yep. But this goes on and on and on. Ban fluoride and reverse. Wait, he does though, right? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, fact check. And New York Times made no mention of their own reporting that fluoride may be linked to lower IQ scores. Okay. Chuck Schumer repeatedly lied about President Trump going after Social Security. Yeah, I mean, it just continues and continues. Yeah, 100 days of lies. Anyway, feel free to check that out on your own. And then, of course, as if the mainstream media wasn't done there. No, we're going to have 3.5 more years of this shit. As shown by the BBC here, who's trying to make this article trend, this video trend. They're trying to make this a thing, folks. Watch as Trump jokes that he'd like to be Pope.
I'd like to be Pope. That would be my number one choice. No, I don't know. I have no preference. I must say we have a cardinal that happens to be out of a place called New York who's very good. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, so he endorses a cardinal. But yeah, the media is probably going to make a thing of that and saying Trump wants to be Pope, right? That's going to be the thing now, right? Anyway, so speaking of the fake news, and speaking of, news outlets like CBS that we discussed earlier, from the Financial Times, Paramount is ready to settle a $20 billion Trump lawsuit against CBS. Paramount was prepared to settle the Trump suit, which alleges 60 Minutes defamed him by deceptively editing an interview with his political opponent, Kamala Harris. Paramount's board drew up financial terms for a potential settlement in an April 18th meeting. Possible settlement could be in the tens of millions of dollars. Lawyers for both sides were to begin mediation on Wednesday. CBS's lawyers have said Trump's lawsuit is baseless, and some of its own journalists have decried the potential deal as capitulation to the White House by one of the country's best-known news groups. The openness to a settlement comes after Redstone, the billionaire who controls Paramount, grew frustrated with the tone of some of CBS's coverage in recent months, said a person familiar with her thinking. She's been concerned for a while now about the balance of CBS News, said the person. Redstone, again, always unnamed sources, right? Unnamed sources. Involved with organizations fighting anti-Semitism following Hamas's attack on Israel, took issue with CBS's coverage of Israel-Hamas last year. She raised her concerns in October. Anyway, you don't need to really know the rest of this bullshit. Trump last year sued ABC News after George Stephanopoulos falsely said on air that Trump had been found liable for rape. Disney paid $15 million to Trump's presidential library. We covered that here on the Culture Plate. The case we have against 60 Minutes, CBS, and Paramount is a true winner. They cheated and defrauded the American people at levels never seen before in the political arena, Trump wrote on his social media platform Truth Social. CBS is out of control at levels never seen before, and they should pay a big price for this. Make America great again. So yeah, cough up that money, folks. Cough up that money, CBS. Speaking of CBS, we have yet another situation with CBS this week. As CBS interviewed as part of their Sunday morning program, they decided to interview Bill Belichick. And this has been a news story that's been developing all week. Let's go ahead and go to the tape. Here's CBS this morning, or Sunday morning, CBS Sunday morning, interviewing Bill Belichick.
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
Oh. Now, we've covered on this show that Bill Belichick is dating, was a 24-year-old? This Jordan lady, 24 years old.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me. And
Hey, Bill Belichick is following the Milds Culture Plate motto. Let's go ahead and throw that up on the screen. Where is it? Boom. Outlast the haters. Bill Belichick wants to outlast the haters. So let's keep that on the screen for the rest of this segment here. Jack985 says, just another dirty old man. Yeah, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. You're going to be a dirty old man. At least it's a consensual relationship. It is what it is. AWR says, I'm going to name my news channel Unknown Sources. Yeah, because you'd have just as much credibility as all the other unknown sources out there. Can't satisfy a grown woman. Yeah, I mean, Jack, see, now this is where we get into the weeds here with Milds Culture Plate. What satisfies grown women is a lot of money and being choked. And I think he could do those two things. I'm sorry. I really think he could do those two things. So I don't know. We'll see.
What's right? How did you guys meet?
I mean, after all, look at Shannon Sharp. We haven't really covered much of the Shannon Sharp stuff. But Shannon Sharp, I mean, he's in some trouble because he found a woman who liked a lot of money and being choked. So, but we'll get into that some other day.
Meet.
Not talking about this.
No.
We're not talking about this.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on.
So he's got the boss sitting over there on the side, vetoing what he gets to talk about in his interview. You got to love that. You got to love a self-made millionaire of a man letting his 24-year-old trophy side piece, or whatever you want to call her, dictate what he gets to talk to the media about. Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Though Hudson has recently posted about it on Instagram.
You joined InstaFace, as you put it. I love that. There's some great pictures of you and Jordan, where you're a fisherman and she's a mermaid. It's charming. It's a different side of you. What's the reaction been like?
What's it been like?
To have these different
I don't
sort
think
of photos.
he knows.
Another one where you're doing, I know you're not into meditation or yoga or Pilates.
I don't think he knows
You're
what the audience
Jordan
needs.
on your feet. She's doing kind of the Titanic pose.
Yeah, so I'm on some of those social media platforms, but I honestly don't follow them.
What he does follow isn't clicks or views, but touchdowns and, above all, wins.
You do seem like you're having a lot more fun these days than you were in other chapters of your life, let's say.
I enjoy football. I enjoy the whole process of it. It's hard to win, and it's hard to beat other good coaches, good teams. I appreciate the grind. I appreciate the competition. But coaching's fun, and honestly, I feel like I haven't worked a day in my life.
Jack says, more than I need to know about this testosterone desert of a man, and AWR calls him a simp. Yeah, you're right. And it's sad because this man is responsible for what, 6 Super Bowls? 6 NFL Super Bowls. Locker rooms full of testosterone. And, of course, kissing Tom Brady on the lips and shit. But we won't get into that. But, and now this, I mean, granted, look, 24-year-old Instagram thought model. I mean, it is what it is. Oh, that was the end of the clip. Shit. Let's go ahead and bring that down. And now, of course, he's butthurt. He's butthurt. Again, my outlast the haters didn't last long because he didn't outlast the haters. So let me go ahead and bring that down. Oh, and it won't go away now. Great. There it goes. He didn't outlast the haters. So we got to get rid of outlast the haters. You got to outlast the haters, and he did not outlast the haters. Jack says he likes to watch. I'd bet a week's pay. Oh, yeah. Definitely. They've got other people joining in on them. From NBC News, Bill Belichick says CBS made a false narrative about girlfriend Jordan Hudson after the awkward interview. Belichick appeared on CBS Mornings ahead of the release of his book, his memoir, The Art of Winning, My Life Lessons from Life. Wow, maybe I had too much whiskey. I'm sorry. The Art of Winning, Lessons from My Life in Football. The former Patriots coach was accompanied by his 24-year-old girlfriend as he spoke to Tony Dokupil in a clip that received widespread attention. Dokupil, we saw that shit. Some of the clips make it appear as though we were avoiding the question of how we met, but we've been open about that fact, that we met on a flight to Palm Beach in 2021. He said that the segment does not reflect the full 35-minute interview. Well, we saw the same shit with Trump, right? And we just talked about the lawsuit in which Trump said that the interview with Kamala Harris was edited. So we know CBS is up to their dirty tricks again. After this occurred, Belichick added that he repeatedly expressed to Dokupil and CBS producers that he wanted to keep the conversation on the book, but that was not honored. After this occurred several times, Jordan, with whom I share both a personal and professional relationship, stepped in to reiterate that point to refocus the discussion. What name did the dog that pooped him out give him? Now, look, Bill Belichick. Bro, nobody gives a fuck about your book. Right now, any news story about you is going to be about the fact that you're banging a 24-year-old. I just got to be honest. Nobody gives a fuck about your book. And the fact that you got CBS News there talking to you, you could use the titties to promote your book. I mean, that's literally what you could do. You could use CBS to promote the titties to promote your book. CBS News, the PR department has responded with this this comment here. When we agreed to speak with Mr. Belichick, it was for a wide-ranging interview. There was no preconditions or limitations to this conversation. This was confirmed repeatedly with his publisher before the interview took place and after it was completed. So again, what is this, fake news or is this butthurt? I think it's a little bit of both. A little bit of both. We got deceptive editing on CBS's part and butthurt by a guy who just couldn't accept the fact that nobody wants to talk to him about anything else but his hot girlfriend. Speaking of his hot girlfriend, Jordan, what was her name again? Jordan. Damn, I'm drunk. I'm sorry, guys. Jordan Hudson. His girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. She is a model, and she actually has a career of her own. And as part of her modeling career, apparently she's going to be competing in the Miss Maine USA pageant. Yep. That's what news outlets are reporting, that she's going to be competing in the Miss May USA pageant. But, folks, she has competition. Oh, yeah, she's also an OnlyFans thought. Yeah, thank you, Jack. Sorry, almost forgot that point. She's also on OnlyFans and Instagram and is willing to take your dollars on either of those platforms. But yes, she's going to be competing in the Miss Maine USA pageant, and she has competition. Do you want to see her competition? Let's go to, what is this news outlet? CBS 13 WGME. For the hottest competition in the Miss Maine pageant.
The first time in Maine's history, a transgender woman will compete in Miss Maine USA. 24-year-old Isabel St. Cyr of Monson says rule changes allowed transgender women to compete in the pageant. She calls it a blessing that she's able to be Maine's first transgender competitor. And she's glad to represent the trans community in Maine. But she also says there's been a lot of backlash since she signed up. And people have even physically assaulted her.
What are you doing?
It does make me feel a little bit scared because
It does make me feel a little bit scared. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no. Come on. What's with the tattoo?
I am used to,
like, I mean, what's with the penis, but still, what's with the tattoo?
The occasional slur or like off comment, but having someone like,
And why is the face yellow but the body is pink? Come on now. This is woman face. This is woman face. Don't do this.
Come by and like throwing beer cans.
This looks like what CNN did to Joe Rogan with the yellowing of the face
and stuff. It definitely gets a little bit scary. And it does,
the hate is
doesn't make you lose hope, but it definitely is a little bit upsetting to see happening still so prevalent in our communities with how far that we've come.
This is the same pageant that Jordan Hudson, Bill Belichick's girlfriend, is competing in. The pageant begins on May 10th. The judges will announce finalists on May 11th.
And okay, so there you go. May 10th, citizens of Maine can vote whether or not they want to see a transgender or they want to see Bill Belichick's hot 24-year-old trophy piece. Shit, I closed a couple of links that were in my bookmarks. So I didn't think we would have time to get to them. But let's go ahead and get to them. So apparently there's this quote from Michelle Obama, old Big Mike. And again, it's been taken out of context, but I want to play it anyway, just because it's funny to take it out of context. Let's play this clip. Let's take it out of context, and then I'll provide the context because I don't want to be fake news.
I wanted to talk, Marlon, a bit about.
So, by the way, she Big Mike here is talking to Marlon Wayans about their transgender child. Marlon Wayans' transgender child. Oh, by the way, let's do the sound effect. We've been talking about transgender, so we got to do the sound effect here. Hang on. There we go. So yeah, talking to Marlon Wayans about their transgender child, and let's see what let's hear the quote.
Out, just so proud of how you are being a role model for dealing with a child that's transgender.
Absolutely.
And that's, that warms my heart, particularly as a Black man.
That warms my heart as a Black man. Now, obviously, he's talking about Marlon being a Black man, but it's funny. The quote out of context is so funny.
Would you care to share that journey of?
Well, I learned.
I wanted.
Okay, so there you have it. There you have it. It warms my heart as a Black man. And then there was another Big Mike clip from last week that I wanted to play and give a little rant on. Let me find it here. Okay, here we go. Here's another Big Mike clip from last week. Which, again, I try not to get too deep into the racism, but you started it. You started it, so here we go.
We don't articulate as Black women our pain because
really? Fucking really? Every other TikTok I open up is a Black woman articulating her struggle. I played 3 of them on the show today. Was it 3 or was it 2? Maybe 2 or 3. All the time. That's like 80% of what black women do is articulate their pain and struggle. Anyway, let's continue.
It's almost like nobody ever gave us permission to do that. And
I mean, were you waiting for permission? Do you think most African American women wait for permission to speak about anything? Let's rewind about 2 seconds here and
do that. And does anyone care? Yeah, there's
Well,
that. They care.
And does anyone care? Okay, so I mean, Raven Simone, no, I'm just gonna say no, they don't. That's half the problem is they don't. So yeah, it is what it is.
If we knew, I think we would care.
And of course, Mike's brother comes in. Good old Big Mike. Thank you, Serene Pickle, for the yeah. It looks like a goddamn Mohican. Big Mike's brother, if we knew, we would care. I mean, how could any statement be any more wrong? Not only do we all know and we don't care because half of it is bullshit. Half of it is bullshit. I'll say half of it's not. Black women do have a hard time. It's kind of rough, right? But that doesn't mean they don't make it rougher.
If we knew.
Mm-hmm.
If we knew.
Or, you know, yeah. And we have to.
And then she uses that as permission. Now, again, there's the, if nobody cares. She basically, you know, talks about how we don't, you know, have permission to, and now literally she got permission, he got permission from his brother to then double down. So here we go. Let's listen to the double down.
To ask ourselves, the men in our lives is, you know, why wait to be asked?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it seems like what we go through.
You should just automatically read our minds and care about what we're already pissed off about. Folks, whether it's white women, black women, or Big Mike, dudes aren't mind readers. So this idea that like we should already care what's pissing you off before you tell us that you're pissed off, it's not going to happen. And I'm sorry, Big Mike, it's not going to happen for you either.
Through is pretty obvious. I mean, maybe we're not complaining, but we're actually living life out loud, you know? Mm-hmm. You know, we don't articulate as black.
Okay, so that's the end of the clip. All right, and like I said, I thought I mean that my tabs are, I've got a ton of tabs here. I can't believe I didn't fill up the show even more. I promised a 7:30 show. And we're at an hour 24 minutes, including the 5 minute opening. So I kind of owe y'all another 10 minutes. What else can I find here just to kind of round out the show here? Let's see. John Elway's agent has died in a golf cart accident. That sounds interesting, but not. I don't know, folks. I think I'm going to have to round out the show here.
Is going to be finished.
What is this here? Scott Bessent trade deals. Here, let me bring this up. I have no idea what the fuck this is, but let's bring it up.
The young man sent over by Doge. The IT update that began in 1990, which was begun before he was born, is going to be finished during your term. So trade, you couldn't make it up.
Okay, IT update's going to be done. Okay, apparently this is part of, I guess Trump had a big cabinet meeting this afternoon. And there's a bunch of clips from it. We'll probably be playing a bunch of them on the Saturday show this week. But yeah, let me go ahead and give a few show notes Big thank you to everyone who showed up today. We have a bigger crowd than usual, and I love it. I mean, this is exactly what I needed. I almost want to, it almost brings me to tears. You all are so awesome. I couldn't have done any of this without you. And I'm pretty sure that at this point, with the crowd we've had in here tonight, with your help, I've actually probably most likely finished off my goal for the Rumble Creator Program. And it looks like I'm going to have to make some room for some more shows for the month of May. I'm a little emotional because yes, Jack 985 says better be following back. Okay, well let me do that. Open a new tab. Jack 985. Click the follow button. Boom, there you go. There you go. And looks like we have some other new follows in the chat. I'm not going to say anything by name, just because I don't know. I never know if anyone wants to be anonymous. I believe that that's the reason why half of my audience doesn't chat in the chat is because they don't want me to read out their name or their comment. So I'm not going to, if you follow me, I'm not going to call out your name in the chat, but I am going to say thank you to the 3 people that have followed during the stream tonight. Hey, we got Sangland86 in the chat saying, crap, I'm late. Hey, no, man, you're just on time. I'm still here. I haven't wrapped up the show yet. Thank you for stopping by. Cheers and welcome. I don't have any more whiskey, but I'm going to give you the wrong tone sound effect.
You're talking to my guy all wrong. It's the wrong tone. Do it again. I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron.
Because if anyone talks to Sanglant in the wrong tone, I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron. I love using that one for Sanglant because Sanglant's my homie. He shows up to my shows on both channels, and I'll use that as an excuse to plug my gaming channel. I've been playing a bunch of Baldur's Gate 3. I'm still trying to siege the Moonrise Towers over there on Baldur's Gate 3 over on my gaming channel. Links down in the description. You could find me over there Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then you can find me right here on Wednesdays and Saturdays, 6 p.m. Central, and occasionally on a Monday. I'll do my what do you call it? Rumble exclusive streams on Monday. But that schedule might be changing soon. Again, because of the Rumble Creator Program, because of some of my hobbies that I will be forced to take some time away from Rumble for to do during the month of May because of the holidays and such. I may be shifting my schedule just a little bit, and you can always be updated on this type of information by following me on X. The link's down in the description. Jack says, we're watching you, Mild. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, you follow me on the social media down in the description, the Facebook, the X, whatever. I will definitely try to post the updated schedule as I will understand it. Tomorrow's the 1st of the month. I will definitely know whether or not, I am assuming that I will know whether or not I'm accepted to the creator program for another month. I believe I have now met the minimum requirements. So I'm expecting to get that email tomorrow. And if I get that email, I'll let you folks know before I go live. And of course, I'll update the viewers of my gaming channel stream tomorrow night. Oh, wow. I again, my love goes out to Jack, to Sanglant, to Still Not Banned here. Who else do we have in the chat tonight? AWR. Shit. So many people. Thought I saw someone else in there earlier. I know I'm forgetting so many people. Yeah, because the chat crashed earlier. Damn it. Anyway, wait, we got this chat window. Serene Pickle, Kevin and ABQ, Neurodivergent One. Yes, all of y'all. Love you. I'm sorry I forgot those other names. I love y'all. I have a short-term memory. I apologize. Good seeing y'all. Cheers and welcome. And for anyone who hasn't been in the chat tonight, feel free to come by, get in the chat every Wednesday, every Saturday, 6 p.m. Central. Get your toast, get your chats read on screen. And if you don't want your chats read on screen, just leave me a comment down in the description after the show's over. I love my what do you call it, lurkers, and I love my people who watch on demand later or listen while they're hard at work. My heart goes out to those of you who like to listen to your Rumble streams while you're working. I do the same thing all day when I'm at work. I watch a lot of the, what do you call it, the Rumble lineup shows. I don't watch them all, but I watch a few of them. And I tune in when I can, but it's not all the time. Jack985 says, great stream, Mild. Everyone's kind of saying hey and hi to everyone. Yes, I love having a community. One of these days I might try to build up my locals or something else, or try to get a Discord going. But right now I save that for the other creators. Every now and then I might pop into Cool Frog's Discord and lurk and read, but I don't really chat. So shout out to Cool Frog. Shout out to, big shout out to Neurodivergent One for being willing to help out with the promotion of tonight's show. And a shout out to Billdozer74, his stream. Shout out to his stream. He does great work. His streams, he shouts me out almost every time I pop into his show. So yes, Billdozer74, go find him on Rumble. Let me actually just get a link to his stream real quick. Unless Sanglan or Neurodivergent One or something has that handy, but I can get it real fast myself. Let me see here. There we go. Here, I'll just drop that in the chat real quick. There's Billdozer74's channel. Feel free to follow him. He does great work, and I appreciate him for the shout outs and the directing people my way. Like I said, I couldn't do it without everyone I've mentioned, including everyone in the chat and everyone watching in the background. I love you all. But yes, I will be back here Saturday. Like I said, I'm probably going to be doing some of the cabinet meeting there. I'll probably be talking a little bit about the Ukraine deal that apparently, I don't know if it fell through. I don't know if it got signed or whatever, but I'll be talking a little bit about it. I had most of the topics for tonight's show ready kind of before I found out about the Ukraine stuff and before I really looked into the Ukraine deal. Still Not Banned here says, thanks for the show in the chat. Hey, thank you. And I also want to give a shout out to Chris Pavlovsky and Rumble, and thank you for providing. Yeah, Rumble Studio's not perfect. I have my issues with it, but providing us with a way to create content and make money. And definitely hope that gets to continue in the month of May. And, I definitely made a lot of money in the month of March, more money than I expected to make. And we'll see how much I made in the month of April. And I couldn't do this without everyone else. This isn't necessarily about me. It's about having fun. It's about making fun of the news and, listening to black people complain. No, I'm just kidding. Black women complain. Let me reiterate that. No, I'm just kidding. Women complain. Let's put it there. Women complain. No, listening to Mild complain. How about that? I'm willing to point that arrow at myself and outlast my own hate. But as we like to say on Mild's Culture Plate, yes, follow me on all the social media down in the description. Let me go find someone to raid real quick while I'm browsing the Rumble. We've got Father Russell playing some video games. We got Nina Infinity, but I think she's more on. I'm trying to stop raiding YouTubers because they don't follow their damn chat. Hey, we got Dara. Yeah, I think I'm gonna raid Daramuth again. You're not vain enough to think this song is about you, says Sanglet. Yes. Let me make sure there's nobody else in the feed here. I think I'm going to raid Daramuth because he's always been a bro too. All right, let's go ahead and do that. It's now 7:30 p.m. Central. I've fulfilled my obligation to you folks officially. Even if I had to ramble about my own life and my own channel, I do it for you folks. Thank you very much. Anyway, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Outlast the haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good. Have a happy hump day, everybody. I'll catch you Saturday right here. Same bad time, same bad channel. See you then. Good night, everybody. Peace.